Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank you for taking your time to attend the session on gaining business visibility, brought to you by ManageEngine Analytics Plus. I am Rachit Arora, an evangelist and solution expert at ManageEngine's analytics team. I'm very excited to help you discover how you can gain better visibility into your business data and derive useful insights to make better data-driven decisions. Please use the live chat on the right-hand side of the page and connect with us to solve any questions that you might have during the course of the presentation, or to reach out to us with a business challenge that you might be facing. Our experts are at hand and available to help you out. Over the past decade or so, digital transformation initiatives have profoundly changed the business landscape, forcing SMBs and enterprises alike to make major changes to their processes and workflows to keep up with the rapid pace of change. Irrespective of the size of your organization or the industry or audience that you cater to, digital transformation has knowingly or unknowingly changed the way you go about your daily work. New and automated processes and workflows have replaced manual, repetitive tasks. IT teams have created new applications and services that are used by various business units such as marketing, HR, admin, and such to digitize their workflows and make best use of the resources at hand. A lot of focus has been placed on the use of business-generated data to gain insights that help decision makers make critical business decisions swiftly and with more confidence. This has paved way for a major shift in how data is handled and shared with users across the organization. While IT professionals have evolved to embrace the new tools and processes introduced to meet the new speed of business, a new challenge has popped up in the midst of this change. Data has been generated at an exponential rate for the last few years, with some studies indicating that 90% of the data today has been produced in just the last 2 years. With major analysts and industry experts predicting a continued deluge of data generation, the challenge for data collection, storage, and analysis has never been more paramount. While some businesses have been successful in building entire revenue models around insights derived from the business data, there have been quite a few that have had a very tough time leveraging data to derive useful insights. With less than 27% of business data being routed through an analytics or BI solution to gain insights, over 73% business data goes waste without decision makers deriving even an iota of actionable insights from it. This is what is termed as the data gap. My objective with this presentation is to empower IT and business professionals such as yourselves with the knowledge and mindset to create a solid analytical framework that will help you practically reduce the data gap in your organization and create an automated process through which users across your organization have access to real-time business insights with little to no knowledge of data analytics. To create this framework and push a culture of data-driven decision-making, you do not require any technical skills, nor do you require any coding skills. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to create a self-service analytics framework, not just for yourself, but for all users in your organization. You will also be able to correlate data between multiple business units in your organization and understand the cause-effect relationship that different functions and processes have on each other. So let's get started on the part towards data democracy, with the goal of creating a level of business visibility that every modern business can and should be achieving today. The presentation is going to go something like this. We're first going to go through and understand some of the biggest challenges and hurdles that IT professionals face while trying to make sense of the data or set up an analytical framework for better business visibility. Next, we're going to go through some practical steps that IT professionals can immediately take to enable a better level of business visibility. And finally, the main part of the presentation is where I'll be showing you detailed examples with live reports and dashboards that will give you a sense of how data should be visualized and displayed to get the optimum level of insights, and also how users should be viewing and understanding the data and charts on dashboards and reports. Because at the end of the day, one might have the best visualizations and reports at hand, but all this would go to waste if he or she doesn't know how to heuristically view and understand the presented data in an unbiased manner. The role of IT in business visibility. IT has always played an important role when it comes to data, from security and storage to analysis and distribution. IT has been at the forefront of data management and security. With the advent of digital transformation, IT teams have stepped up to act as facilitators and enablers, having helped various business functions and teams develop and deploy the very tools that they use to collect and process their information. IT teams have set up the file servers, deployed CRM systems, and created data security policies that secure and contextualize the collated data. It goes without saying that IT plays a pivotal role in creating a data-driven culture. Being the gatekeepers of the organization and ensuring restricted access to tools and data via user groups, access controls, and permissions, IT teams have by default inherited the task of dictating the analytical framework of a business, as they are one of the only business groups that have visibility into almost all data flowing in and out of the business. IT teams are currently on a war footing to create a level of data democratization that allows a limited but essential level of data visibility not only to decision makers but also to line workers who can benefit gravely by analyzing their processes and taking steps towards self-improvement guided by the data at hand. What is business analytics? Business analytics, simply put, is the collation and analysis of historic data created by your business in order to derive business insights that help guide decisions with confidence and trust. The business data we're talking about here can be located anywhere in your organization, from the more obvious customer data residing in your CRM or marketing automation system, to the less obvious data such as the number of repetitive words in a company tweet, are all examples of valid business data that can help derive unique insights that help open up new possibilities for your business, employees, and customers. This level of business visibility is great to identify and leverage business opportunities, but is even more paramount to take critical decisions during challenging times. Taking the current scenario into consideration, with a lot of businesses having to scale down or enable users to work from home, businesses that do not have a high level of business visibility would find it extremely tough to make decisions with confidence. Just remember that a lot of time, not every output from an analytical framework can be considered to be a business insight. Many a times, what also comes out is a lot of noise. As a professional who uses data to derive business decisions, it is very important that one knows what insight to pay heed to and what insights to ignore. This is why business analytics is a heuristic or hands-on process. Why analytics? Business analytics, when done right, can be considered as a single source of truth around which conversations and decisions revolve. It helps keep everyone on the same page and creates better understanding through the use of charts and visualizations to showcase the insights in an easily comprehensible manner. For modern businesses, creating a culture of openness has resulted in a highly transparent data culture that allows everyone in the organization to view the current state of business at a glance, rather than having this information just being limited to executives and major stakeholders. This information is showcased to everyone in the organization, or at least to a majority of them. This is extremely important to create and promote a data-driven culture. The following are some of the biggest challenges that IT folks have faced while trying to create an analytical framework that tries to get together data spread across the organization. Data is stored in applications, databases, Excel files, and much more, spread across teams and business units, sometimes spanning different geographies. These data silos are tough to break as the data is stored in different formats and schemas that create a huge headache. Additionally, the data collected might have to be manually massaged, and a lot of time is spent manually cleaning the data and creating the reports. Due to this, report creation becomes an ad hoc process, and executives are most likely taking decisions on stale information. Data access and security is a major concern, as one doesn't want to be exposing confidential or critical data to employees or individuals with inadequate rights or permissions to do so. One of the biggest challenges holding IT teams back is the need to hire specialists such as data analysts, or having to spend a lot of time and money on training employees to make sense of their data. This causes a huge barrier in the path towards data democratization, where our actual final goal is to allow almost every user to get some level of business data that they can manipulate and understand by themselves without the need for any training or any external help. And finally, it's a huge task to correlate data between departments, databases, or business functions due to its varied formats and users not having the technical know-how to correlate these different data points. Types of analytics. Analytics is of three types: descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. As business users, we are trying to understand the current state of business and take decisions based on past events. Descriptive analysis is primarily what we will be focusing on, though you'll also see how ManageEngine Analytics Plus helps users utilize predictive and prescriptive analytics to aid their decision-making process. Generally, one would need to know either Python or R or some other data science tool or platform to delve into predictive and prescriptive analytics. But we have been successful in making these areas accessible to a less technical audience. Let's try and understand what IT teams are looking for when planning and conceptualizing their analytics strategy and choosing an analytics solution to meet their needs. Based on the challenges that we have covered earlier, we're now pretty sure that one of the most important factors is the ability to import data from multiple sources and in multiple formats. Second, the user should be easily able to correlate data between tables, datasets, and snippets of information to understand the level of dependence or correlation between any two direct or indirect factors or metrics. The platform or analytics tool should be customizable to a degree that allows not just administrators, but also end users to customize the data, reports, and visualizations to appeal to the heuristic nature of our data analysis or business visibility needs. The process to create reports and derive insights should be easy and seamless without the need for complex formulas or the need to define any data structures or schemas. The end goal being that anyone with a basic understanding, as that of handling a spreadsheet, should be able to utilize the data to generate insights. There should be either no or very low training required to utilize the tool. The data that is stored as a single source of truth, as well as the reports and insights generated, should be easily shared either to individuals, groups, or made public for general visibility. The reports and insights generated should be universally applicable and shouldn't differ from user to user when shared or transferred. Also, the platform or tool that we use to analyze the data must have adequate visualization formats such that it supports a huge range of data types and visualization needs. From an information and data security standpoint, IT admins should be able to control the access levels and permissions with regards to what data can be viewed by whom and who has access to manipulate or share certain reports or insights. Granular data controls are a must to enable a conscious democratization of data. The insights created should be personalized based on a specific end user or a group of end users belonging to a specific role, team, or business unit. And finally, the additional resources and time to deploy the application or solution should be minimal and not cause a huge strain on the already limited resources of IT teams. This is where I'd like to take a minute to introduce Analytics Plus. Analytics Plus is a product from ManageEngine, the company behind the largest and most comprehensive IT management product portfolio in the world. ManageEngine, a division of Zoho Corporation, boasts a portfolio of over 90 IT management products and free tools used by over 180,000 companies worldwide. ManageEngine is an R&D driven company that offers products from all possible lines of IT management, such as help desk, network management, server management, IT security, endpoint management, and much more. I would urge you to visit our website at www.manageengine.com to take a glimpse at what we have to offer. I'm sure you'll find a tool that will help you ease your IT management problems. All products come with a 30-day free trial with no credit card or commitment required. ManageEngine Analytics Plus is the only analytics tool available today, made from the ground up for IT professionals. Backed by over a decade of R&D, Analytics Plus seamlessly integrates with a whole host of applications, servers, and databases, both on-premise and in the cloud. With a huge list of supported data sources through which you can pull in information in real time, Analytics Plus offers a flexibility and scale that modern IT teams require without the need for additional training or specialization. Yes, that's right. Analytics Plus is a truly self-service first analytics solution that works out of the box with a bunch of native applications and sources. And if you ever have any trouble connecting a database or creating a report, our support teams are available 24/7 via email, call, and live chat to help you get moving as soon as possible. Analytics Plus supports a number of visualization styles and can be used to create a number of dashboards and reports that can be shared with other users or even projected on screens across your organization to be used as data trackers. With inbuilt forecasting and natural language processing powered by a homegrown AI engine, you just have to type or speak out your question, and Analytics Plus will automatically derive business insights by creating reports and KPIs to help answer your question. All reports, dashboards, and insights that I'll be showing you here on out have been created on Analytics Plus. You can head to www.manageengine.com/analytics to download your 30-day free trial now. Let's summarize what we have covered till now. We discussed the data gap and how IT teams have become the de facto facilitators for data democratization. We discussed the major challenges that IT teams face while looking for an analytics solution and what they look out for in an analytics solution to achieve a truly self-service analytical framework. You've also been introduced to Analytics Plus, ManageEngine's IT analytics software that we'll be utilizing to gain insights from. Now let's dig into our first business use case for the day. The first business use case revolves around the transformation of facility management or HVAC systems and how IT is able to get a level of cross-functional visibility into the state of facilities management, while also helping reduce the workload and resource utilization of the facilities management team. Introducing the characters in this case study. Amy is a facilities manager and Steve is an IT manager, both working at Zilker Incorporated. Here's the problem that Amy is facing. Zilker Inc. runs out of a privately owned office building consisting of 7 floors housing over 1,000 employees. The air conditioning for the building is powered by 2 commercial air conditioning units that are each connected to alternate floors in the building. Amy currently has a staff of 10 employees who spend most of the day fixing issues and adjusting the thermostat based on the needs of the seated employees. The issue is that currently when employees require the temperature to be adjusted, they either send an email or pick the intercom and call the extension to the facilities department. But what exactly is the problem? Let's break it down. With a limited number of resources to both address queries, handle incidents, and answer phone calls, the facilities team is overloaded and exhausted. Emails get lost in the pipeline, and the mean time to resolution for a complaint raised via email seems to be much longer than a phone call, thereby eliminating email as a viable alternative. With no proper system in place to track complaints and update its status, facility technicians answer one request at a time, and additional time is wasted keeping track and manually routing complaints that are raised. Due to a lack of record of past problems and requests, Amy is unable to identify problematic areas or locations and also unable to identify repetitive complaints or outliers to run a root cause analysis on. Amy is also finding it tough to track employee workload and efficiency so that she can either manage or normalize the workload across team members or provide feedback to employees who take a high time to respond or resolve a complaint. This is when Amy approached Steve for a possible solution to her woes. Steve steps in and provides a recourse through a revamped facilities management workflow to digitize the overall process and reduce the heavily manual workflow of the current process. To start off, Steve created a facilities management portal in Service Desk Plus, the help desk solution used by the IT team. He then created a form that will be filled by users to raise a request containing fields such as requesters, name, flow, seating location, and complaint. Each time a new complaint is submitted, a new ticket gets created and is automatically assigned to an available technician based on the technician's availability and workload. The technician then addresses the concern and closes the ticket once the complaint has been resolved. This seems to solve Amy's problem of having to pick up the phone call or keep track and respond to emails. Now, to solve the need for identifying outliers and repetitive patterns and also tracking employee efficiency, Steve connects the new facilities portal to ManageEngine Analytics Plus and gives Amy access to the application. Let's take a look at what kind of reports Amy now has access to and how much visibility does she have over her team and workflows. You're now in the Analytics Plus portal. You can see that we are in the Facilities Temperature Management workspace, visible here, and we have the daily incoming complaints report open. This shows us a daily trend of the number of complaints that are incoming by count. As you can see, we have the report for Feb 2020 open at this time. Right off the bat, we can see that there are a couple of outliers here. The biggest one being this outlier on 26th Feb. First things first, let's try to find out what is the average number of complaints that's incoming. So the way we do that is we can set a threshold line. So you can go to settings, threshold, and set an average value for the entire table. So we just say average over here, give it a name, and give it a color. So we have 18.9 tickets per day as the average count, and we have 26th Feb as an outlier over here. Let's dig a little bit deeper into this data. So the way you dig deeper is by clicking on it, where you'll get the option to drill down by, drill down to, and underline data. By default, you would not get the drill down to over here. To set a user guided drill down, you would have to go to settings, drill down, and give the path for it. So I have set it from request type to floor. So let's drill down into the data and see what is the kind of request being created on this specific day. As you can see, we have an outlier on the temperature high request, a little bit on the temperature low, but we see a major break over here. So let's drill down one more step. As you remember from the previous drill down that we had set, we have floor, right? Because once you're over here, you want to find out which floor is raising the highest number of requests. This is interesting. If you remember during the initial brief of this case study, I had told you that Zirka Inc. runs out of a 7-story building having 2 commercial air conditioner units. And each of these commercial air conditioner units is connected to alternate flows. So what that means is unit 1 is connected to all the odd flows and unit 2 is connected to all the even flows. So from this data, we can clearly see that there is something going wrong with the odd flows, because the odd flows are the ones that we see a high amount of requests. Based on the heuristic analysis that we have done, we've been able to conclude that there might be something wrong with one air conditioner, the air conditioner connected to the odd flows. That's something we've got to get checked out. Let's solve one of Amy's questions that she had earlier. She wanted to know, are my technicians overloaded which of them are overloaded, which of them do not have enough tickets or have a low amount of tickets. And let's understand this data a little bit. So let's look at our data set and what's important over here. We have our request ID, which is a unique number given for each ticket that's created. We have who's the requester, who's the technician, what time it was created, the status, is it open, closed, resolved, which floor, which section, and what is the kind of request. So is it a temperature low request or a temperature high request? So we'll click on create a chart to understand this sort of data. So the first thing is I have my technician, right? And that's who I want to be placing on my x-axis. I want how many tickets is he or she handling. So I will go to request ID and count. Let's see what data this shows us. Okay, this shows us the total number of tickets assigned to this user since we have implemented this temperature management system. Let's add a filter and put request status as open, right? So that way we're sure that this is the open request. Now, this chart overall shows us what is the sort of workload. Let's just sort this by descending. And it's very clear that Kali has 7 open tickets right now, where Migueletta has just 1 open ticket. So we know currently who has the highest workload. We can save this as workload by technician and take a look at it later. Now, in case I want to be alerted if somebody's workload is too high, right? So let's say somebody's workload has crossed 5 tickets. That means they have more than 5 open tickets at the moment. I want to be alerted. So we can do that right within Analytics Plus. Click on the alert icon here, create an alert, and say when the request ID count is greater than 5, it checks every hour. So you can set your polling period and you'll only alert if results change. So high workload alert. And I would set an in-app notification. High workload alert. I would save it. That's set. So next time if a workload goes above 5, it's going to alert. The alert mechanism allows me to keep a proactive level of visibility without having to constantly keep looking at the report. So all Steve has done is created a form that collected some amount of information, created a ticket based on the data from the form, and saved the data that came in. So the important data is what time it was created, what time was it assigned to a user, and what time it was closed, which flow did it affect, which section it affected, what's the status. It is not a lot of information. But even with such limited information, we were able to put together a dashboard that actually conveys quite a bit of insight into our temperature management system. It shows us how much is the incoming request every month, what is the current status, how many are open, how many are closed, which flows have the highest request today, which flows have the lowest request today, what is the current temperature per flow. We can analyze this a bit further and say which hour of the day do we see a lot of requests coming through. So we see between midnight and 3 a.m. we see a lot of requests. So that's a clear trend that maybe people are feeling too high a code. We could drill down deeper and see what's the kind of requests that are coming in. Is it high temperature, low temperature requests, and take action accordingly. We can see which day of the week there are a lot of tickets coming in, and we can keep resources at hand based on the data that we derive from this report. The technician workload is something that we have already gone through, and we have data such as how long did it take to close a complaint. So 7.2 minutes is the average time to close a complaint that is either a temperature high or a temperature low. Obviously, complaints such as water leakage, noise, dust take longer to solve. So we have a different metric for that, where say 5.83 hours is the average time taken to solve a complaint that is either dust, noise, or water leakage. We can find out which flows have the most problems and what is the biggest problem. So we know that flow 2 has the most problem and the biggest problem is temperature low. So we can start slowly climbing it higher and seeing if these numbers reduce, right? Because from our average over here, we know that flow 2 is at 23.68, and obviously that is lower than few other flows. And if you're getting a lot of temperature low complaints over here, all you got to do is increase the overall flow temperature by probably half a degree or 1 degree and see if these complaints decrease over time. So you have complete visibility into temperature management here, and it just requires one form going through a ticket management system. And that is a level of visibility you can achieve when you put IT and other business processes together. Managers and decision makers highly benefit from such an informative dashboard that gives them clear visibility into the status and workload of the facilities team. IT helps ensure no resource is over or underutilized, while also creating a better way to identify anomalies via visualizations. Being a single source of truth for all the information, Analytics Plus takes it one step ahead, allowing you to collaborate, create alerts, and much more right within the application. Let us now take a look at a use case that is very relevant at the moment. With the sudden imposition of having employees work from home, IT teams have suddenly had a lot on their plate. Let's take a look at what IT folks have had to deal with and how better visibility can help them keep track of activities and gain insight into what they should be doing to meet the need of the hour. With the work from home coming about, IT admins have had to take a deeper look at their processes, systems, vulnerability, access management, and a lot more. The following is a flowchart of the 4 main activities broken down that IT teams have had to focus on, and I'm going to show you how we can get better visibility into each of these areas over the next few minutes. A few activities that IT admins have had to get around to are providing access to remote work tools and applications, both native and third-party, providing devices such as laptops and mobiles to facilitate work from home, providing VPN access and ensuring adequate bandwidth availability, ensuring password security and enabling a password management system to share passwords securely. IT teams utilize device management software like ManageEngine Mobile Device Manager Plus to harden and control corporate devices, ensuring that data stays encrypted and secure, users follow password policies, and internal applications and device patches can be delivered seamlessly and remotely. With work from home being enforced, IT teams are rushing to apply MDM profiles to all corporate and BYOD devices, while also trying to assure that these devices adhere to the password policy. This is a mobile visibility dashboard that will help IT users keep track of their MDM deployment status. The first 2 metrics show the status of managed to unmanaged devices, clearly showcasing to IT admins how many devices are yet to be enrolled. Device registration trend shows the weekly count of new mobile devices that have been enrolled into the organization's MDM. The device management status shows the progress towards achieving 100% device enrollment. There are 2 kinds of devices that organizations handle. One are corporate devices. These are devices owned, managed, and controlled by organizations themselves, and they apply MDM policies on these and have 100% control over the device. The other devices are personal devices that are used for professional use or corporate use. Companies apply BYOD MDM policies on these devices, ensuring that corporate data and personal data is segregated. And this chart shows you the difference between BYOD and corporate devices enrolled in the organization currently. The following chart is a running total of monthly managed devices, along with a secondary data point which tells you if the device is compliant with the passcode policy of your organization or not. This visualization serves a dual purpose and is perfect to fit in any MDM dashboard. Companies have policies in place to replace old devices in regular timeframes. The device by age report shows you a complete breakdown of all the devices in the organization split by their age in years. This is extremely helpful for administrators to understand how many devices are about to be phased out, ensure that they have sufficient stocks, and identify specific devices that need to be replaced immediately, either due to their old age or due to them running out of space. So if they are old, they need to be replaced. If they are running out of space, either space needs to be increased or a new mobile phone needs to be given which has expanded storage. Application access and visibility. Organizations use single sign-on solutions such as ManageEngine Identity Manager Plus to provide the users access to applications in bulk without the need to remember multiple usernames and passwords or create credentials every time a new app is assigned to the user. This is an application access and activity dashboard. This dashboard shows various metrics that can be used by IT teams to assess the application usage trends, application access trends, as well as identify users who either have access to too many applications or access to no applications, both of which might be red flags. The top applications by usage allows IT teams to manage bandwidth allotments and ensure more resource availability to access frequently used applications. The top applications by access charts shows apps that have a high login rate and sudden spikes might indicate unauthorized behavior. Infrastructure availability and visibility. NOC teams or network operations teams require access to uptime and availability metrics to ensure that business critical and other essential network and server resources are always available and to reduce the total amount of downtime affecting the normal speed of business. The availability dashboards contain a number of visualizations and metrics that immediately give NOC and IT teams visibility into resource availability across a wide period of time. Taking advantage of the heat map visualization format, monitor availability heat map is a perfect example of how dynamic visualizations can be used to show a broad range of data. The downtime frequency chart has taken advantage of Analytic Plus's forecasting model to create a self-service based predictive analytics model. Metrics such as mean time to repair and mean time between failures are crucial metrics for any NOC or operations administrator. These metrics allow managers to keep track of their uptime performance and service delivery, allowing them a greater level of infrastructure visibility at a glance. Various critical applications and services are grouped into monitors for tracking multiple infrastructure elements that cater to a single service or single business unit, giving viewers a comprehensive and overarching visibility into the operations aspect of IT. Having looked at multiple business use cases, you should now have a good idea of the kind of insights and reports that can be derived from your business data, irrespective of the kind of data or application or business function from which the data originates. I hope that you're able to walk away from this presentation having a better idea of how business visibility can help in strategic decision making and also how you can use ManageEngine Analytics Plus to achieve these goals. Coming to the end of the presentation, I'd like to summarize what we have learned today. We understood some of the toughest challenges that IT teams face while trying to create an analytics framework. We also learned that no modern business can thrive without deploying a real-time visibility solution that helps decision makers understand the impact of various business functions and units on one another. We also learned that IT plays a pivotal role in enabling a data-driven work culture. Descriptive analytics, the analytics involved the study of past data, is the name of the game and is the focus of most business analysis today. But features such as natural language processing and data forecasting give you the opportunity to experience the best of both worlds without the need for learning coding or knowing any advanced technical skills. Collaboration and discussion are essential elements of business analysis, and a heuristic analysis, when carried out by multiple people, carries more weightage due to a person's personal bias creeping in. We also learn never to take all metrics at face value because there's a lot of noise that is generated. As a business analyst, we must be prudent enough to separate the insights from the noise and take better data-driven decisions. Finally, choosing the right tools, techniques, and frameworks is extremely important to be successful in your goal of creating a data-driven decision-making process. And the only way you can achieve true data democratization is by enabling everyone in your organization with visibility to a certain level of real-time business data. Thank you for taking your time out to view the presentation. Reach out to our team to discuss your business visibility challenges by using the chat on the right-hand side of the page or sending me an email at rachit@manageengine.com. Thank you and stay safe.